Hello and welcome to the Captain's Log number 250. We hope you enjoy this one because each week here on the Captain's Log, we thirst for the taste of legend. My name is Kyle Springer and I am joined by Melissa Wilkinson. As always, Melissa, how are you?
I'm good. Happy big quarter to everybody.
Yeah, 250. Exciting, right?
Big quarter.
Exactly. And that voice is of Jacq. Jacq, how are you? Welcome back to the show.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me back so quickly as well. I'm doing all right. Ready for fall.
Good stuff.
Yes.
How are you both doing?
Doing good.
I am doing well. We had National Cinema Day this weekend.
Yes.
Melissa, I know you took advantage of that. I did not, but I went on Saturday. I went to go see Gran Turismo, which Melissa, you also did the 4DX experience of Gran Turismo. What did you think? Because I was very surprised by that one.
To talk about the 4DX experience, I think they've only been doing 4DX at this theater for like 6 weeks or something. National Cinema Day packed. It was very busy. I don't think my theater was calibrated correctly because it would just start vibrating us in the middle of a dialogue scene. Sometimes it would sync up perfectly.
Oh, no.
I think we all had a good laugh over just random jostling around. I still recommend it. I recommend 4DX if you can get your hands on it.
Interesting, because that would have been a perfect one to go to for the 4DX experience. Because I mean,
it still enhanced it when it was
You're
working.
sitting in a seat. Everyone's sitting in a seat, right?
Yes.
I went to go see it on Saturday. A huge surprise. I was not expecting much, and actually had a blast. I thought it was really good.
Too. Yes.
There was one.
Good. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, there was one review, like an early review that I read like a month ago that was like, the movie's actually pretty decent when it's not trying to sell you the video game. And I think that's true. Like the dumbest, cheesiest parts is when like the PlayStation sound like comes on, or it's like points for like this thing, and something pops up on screen. You're just like, all right, I get it. It's a video game, but based on a true story and stuff like that. So good stuff, fun stuff.
I think it's the only time I've ever been in a theater watching a movie based on a true event, and it's got the cards at the end saying, this is what this person went on to do. Here's a fact about them. I think it's the only time I've ever clapped for one of those. We all clapped, which is just about the fact that the real guy this is based on did his own stunt driving for the movie, which you can imagine. That's not a spoiler. You can draw the line between A to B and project that happened. But when you're in the moment, when you're in the vibrating seat, you're not thinking about it. And you're so high on the experience. So that when that card comes up at the end, we all clap, we all cheer. We were in it, me and those folks in the theater.
Good. Now, I have to ask you this too. Remember when I first started watching Netflix's Drive to Survive? Like last year, like end of last year. And I
know what you're talking about. And I remembered. I'm like, this makes sense to me because Kyle told me about it.
So, Jacq, I'll do the quick version of this. Red Bull Racing in Formula One right now, they are constantly winning nonstop. The guy that is the team manager is married to someone, and she came on screen and the camera kind of lingered on her. Like I was supposed to know who she was, and I didn't know who it was. And we had to look it up afterwards because my partner was like, she looks familiar. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm supposed to know who that is. We looked it up. It's God, which spice is it? It's
ginger. It's ginger spice. Jerry
Spice.
Halliwell.
Oh,
Yeah. And we were just like,
Wow.
oh, holy moly, he married one of the Spice Girls. Like, why does this show like not mention that, or like not focus on why is he not Mr. Spice and instead is Christian Horner, right?
Right. Kristen,
and-
Mr.
Yeah.
Ginger Horner.
exactly. But then she ends up playing the mom in Gran
Yes.
Turismo. So she was on screen. I was like, ha, I know her. Yep. It makes sense that she's in this. So
Wow.
good stuff. Good stuff.
Full circle.
Absolutely.
Jacq, what movies have you been watching lately?
Oh, goodness. So, with another friend group, we somehow made the decision to watch every Adam Sandler movie. And we spin the wheel of death every time that we hang out. So, this weekend we did The Longest Yard, in parentheses, 2005.
Interesting. Okay. That one's, I remember that one being tolerable. For the time,
it was,
at least. Right?
yeah, it was perfectly fine. Like, it felt the least like an Adam Sandler movie and more like a movie that just happened to star Adam Sandler out of all of the comedies of his I've seen so far. But yeah, I've just been watching that and trying to work my way through Sofia Coppola's filmography. So I watched On the Rocks the other night, which was okay.
Interesting.
You know,
Right. Don't know that
Don't
one.
really
I'll
have
have to get to
anything.
that.
yeah, if you have Apple TV, it's free on there.
Oh,
Cool.
I do have that.
Now you are also sipping on something. I saw you. It looked like it looked like the can design was like a wood grain thing, but I guess that's just like the koozie you got on it.
Yeah, it's a High Noon tequila seltzer, which I would highly
Ooh.
recommend, even if you're not a tequila, or not, if you're a tequila person, but not a seltzer person, would highly recommend. But yeah, this is a new koozie I got that says Scary Movies and Chill.
Absolutely. Perfect
Good
timing.
stuff. I don't have anything tequila related, but I have my soda of the week. I've been having these like craft sodas on the podcast. This is the last one of the bunch that I got like 2 months ago. This is a Red Ribbon Bitter Lemon. It's in a clear bottle, light blue, almost teal-ish label with lemon, not lemon, with yellow, with yellow text. This is another one of those pinpoint carbonation ones that's supposed to like be like the carbonation's supposed to last longer. I think I had at least one Red Ribbon something last time I did this. I don't remember what it was though, but pick this
We're
up.
gonna have to build a whole catalog of our assorted beverages.
Yeah. I picked this one up because it wasn't like a lemon lime, but bitter. I don't know what that means, and I'm kind of scared. Is this supposed to be sour? Like, what is this? I don't know.
This sounds like it's supposed to be a mixer and not a soda you just glug straight from the bottle. So good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck to me. I'll try this one and I'll be sipping on this while we continue the rest of the podcast here.
I will say I really like that label. Like, it's very aesthetically appealing.
Yeah,
oh,
no, I do
Sour.
not like this. Yeah, it's not even sour. It really is bitter. Like, it tastes bad. Like the lemon is rotten. It has gone bad.
Put gin or something in it and then see if that's the magic key. I swear that's what that is for.
I should probably go like get some tequila or something like that and mix it in with that. I might do that on the break here, but yeah, that was not pleasant.
Kyle, how
Good
many
stuff.
hard liquors do you store in your house at any given time?
Right now we have 5 bottles. It's only whiskey
That's
or
good.
tequila. We are trying
Okay.
to build up a small little cabinet of stuff. I'm the whiskey
Good goal.
fan. My partner likes tequila. I like it too. But we haven't really branched out all that much. We tried to do like a pineapple vodka at one point, and was not
Ooh.
great by itself, but was a very good mixer. So, yeah, that's what I
one
got.
of those right here. A high
Yeah.
noon
Woohoo.
vodka pineapple seltzer.
Oh,
There you go.
nice.
Cool. Well, yeah. So, episode 250 of the podcast. Melissa, do you want to explain what we're up to? Because I mean, we've done these fantasy drafts before,
Yeah.
but I think the idea of what we are drafting was also your idea.
It might have been.
It was a while
you and I
ago.
both
We've been
agreed on it at some
planning
point.
this one for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. Not that there's much to plan. We just said the idea and we're like, we ought to do that. And we're like, that's episode 250. Sure. What else would we do? We are doing a draft of TV show openers. It's not exclusively opening theme songs for my list, at least. I really took the visuals into account. You didn't
Sure.
just need a banger song to get on the list. I'm like, what does it look like? It can't just be clips from the show. You really got to dazzle me here.
Indeed. So yeah, I think what we did last time is we each kind of drafted a team of 5 of them. I think that
Yes.
works. That still is good for us to do.
Yeah.
that.
Same structure.
Yeah, I think also Jacq, I believe you started it last time. Is that correct? Do you remember?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
that is
so
correct.
I will offer these starting position to Melissa this time, unless you
Oh.
want to flip a coin and see who goes first between you and me. But I will offer it to you if you want to take it.
Ooh. I was planning my list as if you guys had both already gone. I was like, I think there's a couple big contenders in this list that I imagine each of you would grab for one of those respective big contenders. So I'm like, what do I think I could get third? But I'll take first.
Okay.
If you're willing to offer it to me
Yeah,
in a
absolutely.
show of good sportsmanship. Sure. Yeah, we're gonna go
Sure.
well, who gets second then? What's our drafting order?
Do you want to pick, or Jacq, do you want to flip a coin and see between you and me who goes next?
Ooh, I kind of like the idea of trying to remember what we did last time. Were you the hot corner last time, Kyle?
I think I was.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Should we switch it all up then and do Melissa, Kyle, then me?
Sure.
That's fine with
Hell in
me.
the middle.
Easy peasy.
Okay.
Good stuff.
All right.
Cool.
We won't have to compete at all. We've reached an agreement.
Indeed.
And we'll do this
Good
serpentine
game.
style.
Yes, that is a good detail to add to that. I don't think there's really any other kind of rules or regulations we need to mention or anything
No?
like that. So I'm gonna send us over to housekeeping to do that stuff, and I'm gonna go grab some tequila or something and bring that back as well here. So we will be right back. Here at the Whatnauts, we make multiple different shows, and a lot of hard work goes into making them, so we would love it if you check them all out. If you enjoy our shows, patreon.com/thewhatnauts is the best place to show your support. For just $1 a month, you can get early access to episodes, and at our $3 tier, a Patreon-exclusive podcast, The Pilots Club. You can even get a shout out and thank you on most of our shows at the $5 tier. And if you're one of our patrons already, thank you so much. It means the world to us. You can find out more information on our website, thewhatnauts.com, as well as your favorite podcasting platform of choice. When you type in The Whatnauts, all of our shows will pop up right there. Just don't forget to give us a nice rating and review if you like the shows. You can also find us on YouTube and Twitch for video versions of the shows, trailer reactions, and live streams. And lastly, we have merch. If you want to grab yourself a shirt or a hoodie or a mug or something else, head over to the whatnauts.com/store to pick up some merch today. All right, we are back. I do have my tequila. I'll get to that in a sec here. But big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. We love you a lot. We thank you. It means a ton. Over on the Pilots Club, Melissa, you and I just got to record the Pilots Club for the month of September, which is on the show Winning Time, The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty. And that one was not what I expected at all, but it was awesome. It was a pleasant, good first episode. Some really funny moments I did not expect, and some good heartfelt drama in there too. So go check out the Pilots Club.
Really experiments with the format.
Yes, absolutely. Right here on the Captain's Log, this past week, we got to catch up with our thoughts on Blue Beetle. Melissa, you went to go see the last voyage of the Demeter all by yourself.
Utterly alone. Only soul in the theater.
Yeah. All sorts of stuff like that. I completed the Brave Boy challenge that you gave me a couple weeks ago.
Good.
All sorts of shenanigans. So go check that out. Over on the review show, we started our next end of the month special, which will take us through the end of the year. Here we are starting to read some of Mike Mignola's Hellboy comics. We read the first 3 volumes and talked about those. And we'll continue to talk about the next handful of volumes of those at the end of each month through the end of the year. So go check all of that stuff out. And that's kind of about it for right now. All of our stuff. We don't have much new in terms of the reactor core. There's some older stuff on there, and there's things coming down the road. But yeah, not much going on with the reactor core right now. So there you go. That is housekeeping for you right now. So yeah, I have some tequila. 1800 is what we got here. So I'm gonna see if I can mix this, and I'm gonna toss it to you, Melissa, to take away the draft.
Live on air.
Right? Yeah. Too bad I can't do any like tricks and spinning and tossing the bottle up and who knows.
You don't even have a little umbrella. Come on.
No, I don't.
Which Marvel glass are you using?
Oh, Spider-Man.
Yay! The boy
doesn't strike me as a tequila boy.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man feels like local craft beers only.
Right, yeah. Who knows?
Not even for all of New York, just his borough.
Okay, let's see if that's kind of enough here.
Maybe he'd drink one Mike's Hard Lemonade if Aunt May would allow him to do so.
You're right.
This is better. It's still not great,
good.
But tolerable.
Tolerable.
So, better's good.
I'll stick with that.
With this auspicious beginning, let the draft begin. Draft of best TV openings. Me and this show are soul bonded. It's one of my all-time faves forever, and it is a core memory for all 90s kids in its sound and in its visuals. It set the vibe for a show that people still love and return to today. It's an opening credits that has its own iconic catchphrase, separate of the entire opening credits on its own. I take the X-Files.
There you go. Yeah.
I had a feeling.
There's a couple things that I feel like she could have picked first.
Yes.
That I'm
I
sure
had
will
options.
come up down the road.
You got to go with your heart. It's X-Files. There's something so evocative about that opening. And when I was a little kid, I didn't understand, because every like little kid's opening credits is clips of the show. There were episodes that
Sure.
you can watch. I didn't realize that everything in X-Files was just for the opening credits. Like I would ask my dad, what's the episode where like the guy falls into the hand? I haven't seen that one in reruns. What's that one about? And he's like, that isn't one. Like they're just pictures. They're just there to be spooky. This imagery lodges itself in your brain. I was reading about the opening theme song and how it was designed to be like something like a campfire song. Like Boy Scouts out in the woods would whistle the X-Files theme to each other. It's designed to be that intensely eerie.
That
Telling
makes
ghost
sense.
stories around the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Something snapped in the woods, and you're like, oh, it's the Mothman. Yeah, good choice. Good start to the
Very
draft.
good.
I'm writing all these down. FYI, I've taken the secretarial duties.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I guess that brings us to me for my first pick. Yeah, I started working on my list here. There were ones that I wrote down immediately. There were ones I had to think about a little bit. And then there were ones that I forgot. And when I finally remembered them was like, how did I forget this? Incredible.
Yes.
What a great opening credits thing there. But man, I think I have to go with what I think of when I think of iconic opening credits. And it has to be Cowboy Bebop.
Oh,
Ooh.
very happy that is getting out here in the first round.
Like when you pitch this as an idea of like what has the best opening credits of a television show, my mind always goes to this. Like this is number one. Just the art is fantastic. The music by the seat belts is incredible. Yeah. Good stuff. Tank from Cowboy Bebop.
Mm-hmm. If an
Those are
alien
good.
came to Earth and was like, I need to understand what this Earth concept of cool is, and I only have 90 seconds before I have to get in my spaceship and fly away, the one piece of Earth media you show them is the opening to Cowboy Bebop.
Indeed. Yeah. So glad I got to pick that one first.
Very good choice.
Very on brand.
Jacq,
Oh, yeah.
to you for the hot corner.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So when picking themes for me, I wanted to pick something that I would never, if I had the option, click skip intro on.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it has to be something that I want to watch, even if I am given the choice to skip it, and it is the perfect gateway to putting you into this world of the show. Great for world building. And I think that there is no other opening credit sequence that is a better gateway to the show than The Sopranos.
Ah,
That is a good one. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it's just him like driving home from work, right? That's it. And then he gets out and he's home. Show starts. Here we go.
Yeah, and you get the
I've
really
never
nice.
seen The Sopranos. I was going to say, I've never seen The Sopranos. I saw this on so many lists, though, when I was looking up best TV opening credits. So I think you've got a great pick here.
Yeah, it was a show that I haven't seen all of it myself as an adult, but it was a show that my parents watched as a youth/preteen, and even though I couldn't really be in the room a lot of the time when they were watching it, I could always stay for the credits, and I really liked the credits even as a kid. It has just such a catchy song, and I love the shots of New York and suburban New Jersey, I'm guessing, but
yeah,
the shot of Pizza Land was always my favorite.
Yep, indeed. Yeah, like it's a good way to do the like, let's get some B-roll of the city and get like the atmosphere and the vibe of where the show takes place. but also to kind of signal that, like, hey, despite him kind of being a mafia boss, he's just a working man, right? He's on his way home from work, and that's it. So
Yeah.
good choice. Good choice.
Thanks. And then to follow that up, my second choice, another one that has been ingrained in my mind since childhood, is Roseanne.
Oh, okay.
Which was a show that I really liked as a kid. I still like it as an adult. You know, Roseanne herself may have some issues.
Yeah.
We don't have to get into that, but I've always really liked that opening credit sequence, and I like how it changed every couple of seasons, and so you'd always see the family doing something different, whether they were eating pizza or here comes pizza again. I don't know if pizza's going to be in every choice I make, but they're eating pizza, they're eating
understandable
Chinese food, they're playing poker, they're always playing something around the table, and yeah, I think that it really sets the tone of the show very well.
Okay.
Nice. Good. I didn't think of that one. That's a good choice. I didn't watch a lot of that show growing up, but that opening credit did project warmth in a way that I enjoyed.
Very warm.
Good
way of putting it.
Good stuff. Okay, so I guess that goes back to me now for my second pick.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So I did try to kind of come up with different themes of, like, I want ones that are just, they're good bops, right? You hear it and you're just like, yeah, this is a bop, right? Then I wanted ones that were also like, these are just iconic. Like, even if the song is not like super duper catchy, it's so iconic that, like, it is just, it's so well known. I also wanted to give a shout out to ones that had good animation. I also have a segment here for hidden gems, ones that like might not be super popular shows, but like their credits, you need to go watch this because they're incredible. And my last one was for tone. What ones just nail it for tone? And I only have a small number in that section, but for my second pick, I'm gonna have to go with Dark. The opening credits for Dark, because they just,
an obvious choice for Kyle.
It's a haunting. It is, as the name implies, dark, but they do this like kaleidoscopic like thing with the opening credits, which obviously a kaleidoscope like mirrors stuff on all sorts of different angles. And that's kind of what's happening in the show too, with the time travel and the past and the present and all of this stuff. Yeah, it's just it's an interesting opening credits, and it's still somehow catchy, like with it also being like very somber and serious and haunting. It's also catchy, right? So
the song itself is great. There's a nice episode. I think there's a Song Exploder podcast about that song. It's a really nice look into how it was made. And the opening credits of Dark are my single favorite thing about Dark. I love those opening credits miles more than I love anything else in Dark.
And
it's just
the mystery of how the one character lost his eye.
I do love him. The opening credits are just such a concentrated hit of just pure mood and tone and eeriness and aesthetic.
Absolutely.
Man, truly iconic. Very happy that got to go early here. Oh, man, there's a big one I'm surprised neither of you have taken yet. And I designed my list.
So many options.
I designed my list as if one of you would have taken it already. So I'm going to leave it for another round.
Okay.
I want to take another set of opening credits similar to those in Dark, where I feel like this sets the tone for the entire show. for me, this is also such a huge part of why I like the show. And if you took these credits out, I really don't think I would feel the same way about it at all. I think the credits deliver that much on selling you on the terror of the thing. And that's the opening credits to Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh.
I had that on my list for like good tone pieces.
Mm-hmm. I watch those things every time like it's a magic trick. It's such a performance of the everything's in there. You've got the horror of the woods. You've got the 90s. We're just teens
90s
messing
grunge.
around, pushing. Yes, very grungy, very eerie. The way it puts like the VHS distortion on all of the images. You've got like that shot of Misty where she's smiling and then she's like leering at you. You've Jackie and then like the tracking line crosses her face and then she's like the man with no eyes. Like there's all of the obvious horror imagery in it. But it's that song. The way that song just wails. No return, no return, no return. That's perfect. If those lines were removed from the song, Yellow Jackets becomes like 20% less effective to me. Those lines do so much heavy lifting from my experience with this show, selling you on. They went into this place and they got fucked up and they're never going to be the same.
Absolutely. And they've trained the viewers to an extent to watch it, not just because it's neat stylistically or it has a good song. There's Easter eggs like in the opening credits and like things that people didn't figure out until like the end of season 1. Like this thing was in there the whole time. Oh my God. And so now, they've done like different versions of the credits. In season 2, they experimented with like different versions of that song. And stuff like that. So that's always neat. I like when opening credits do stuff like that. It's like, oh, here's an alternate version of the credits. Interesting. That's fun. Good stuff. Good stuff indeed.
Can I get another one? Dang. I want to take this next one. I'm sticking in a horror vein. I think if a TV show opening can really sell you on horror effectively, I could have done a whole horror list.
Sure, yeah.
That's one of the best genres to deliver in like a minute or a minute and a half. A little short story. If you have an opening credits that's like a whole short story of terror and spine chills, wonderful. But this one is best in class for minimalism. There's not even imagery in it. It's 100% vibes. And that's the opening to Stranger Things. Something that's
that
so
was on my
simple.
list.
It's so simple, but I still never skip it. It's another thing I just stare at. Every little like neon buzz and synth hit and the way just the serifs glide together. It's so elegant.
Yes.
Very, very good. Yeah. There's also like a whole, like that was even something I was thinking about too. Like what are like the minimalist, like it's not a song. There's really not much imagery to it. There's just like a hit or a tone where it's just bam, here's the opening credits. And you could make a whole list with just stuff that fits that.
You could.
For sure.
That's such a good pick.
Okay, do I start to like spread out? Do I get one? Do I try to get one from each of my themes here? Maybe that's what I should do. Interesting. Okay. But then there's so many good bops that are just like if I pick one and I need to move on, it means I didn't do this other one. I'm going to go with one of my bops, one that I forgot, and then I got mad at myself when I remembered it and was like, how come I didn't think of this? Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Oh my gosh.
He was also on my long list. This is a great choice.
Yes.
Perfect.
Bill. Bill Nye, the science guy. Science
rules.
Exactly, yeah.
That got
so
you
good.
so hyped for science as a little kid when your teacher rolls
I
in
still
the
get hyped.
VHS cart. Right?
It's
You
that
don't
meme.
lose that sense.
Right, it's that meme of that one little white kid who's in the back. Like,
Oh, is it Dwayne, the guy that does like the weird?
I don't even know his name at
can't
all,
do
but
the
still,
move,
just like
but-
I get so hyped when it's on. I'm just like, yes,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes,
Bill,
absolutely.
Bill Nye, the
I'm
science
happy
guy.
you were mentioning these. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jacq, back to you.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So I have a question.
Go for it.
Mhm.
Do opening credits count if they are only included in one episode of the series?
I know what you're going to do. You have my support.
I don't know. I say go for it. I don't know what this is.
Okay. So I am choosing the opening credits to season 2, episode 6 of Mr. Robot.
Yes.
Surprisingly, there is also a season 2, episode 6 of another show that I could have picked for this. But
Yes.
Mr. Robot, the fact that it went full sitcom and gave us opening credits that were composed by the people who wrote the credits for opening credits themes for like Full House and actual sitcoms, and that they filmed it and made it so authentic is just amazing. Had to go with that.
Shows up.
Oh my
in
God,
the
that's
episode.
right. This is one I have to pull up and watch right now because I think about this constantly. Just the imagery of like Rami Malek splayed out on the ground after he fell out of the window and he just sits up looking stunned. This is so funny.
And
then when they get
Gideon
to, like,
looking at the
Portia
paper.
Doubleday, she's like crying and smiling at the same
Yes.
time. God, one of the
So
finest
good.
micro performances in the entire series is that moment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick, and I like we've kind of already mentioned the ones that do like here are the alternative credits, right? Like you could also make a whole list of like here's my favorite alternative credits of these ones. When Fringe does the like 1980s version of the thing, that was good too. So
And special guest
Fun.
star Man in the Trunk.
Mhm.
I need to watch that show again.
I do too.
Fantastic.
It's been a couple of years.
Mhm. All right, so you get pick number 4 now.
All right. So for pick number 4, I'm going to go with probably my favorite opening credits in recent years, and that is for Peacemaker.
Yes,
Mm.
finally, it gets off the board.
Yep, that was on my list of bops.
Yes.
It is a bop.
Absolutely. God,
Sets
I
the
could-
tone of the show so well.
and like
When you see
came
it,
out of nowhere.
your jaw just drops. Yes.
Yes.
You have no idea. And then as you catch on to like, oh, it's not just everybody's dancing. Everybody is dancing so straight-faced, so blank, so emotionless.
Yeah, like you kind of expect maybe something strange coming from James Gunn, or like strange in a silly way, but this is so much more of that than you were expecting.
Yes.
That is almost the best part of the entire show is
Yes.
the opening credits
Yes.
period.
The fact that it was choreographed and shot. Like, this isn't just an interesting collaboration of we took the footage from the show and we edited it in
God.
this unique way, like with Dark or something. No, a choreographer was brought in. They made sweet old Robert Patrick dance around.
Do you really want to taste
Mhm.
it? Now, let me ask you this. Whenever season 2 of Peacemaker comes out, do you think they're keeping the same opening credits, or are they going to try and top that?
Well, they're gonna have to.
Ooh.
It's gonna have to be new because there's gonna be like a new cast. A lot of the people
Right.
in these opening credits have died by the end of the season. I would like if it was the same style of thing again.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for too.
Jacq,
And
I think you're on mute.
mute?
Oh, there you're back.
Oh, now you're back. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really hoping for the same thing too.
Yes, yeah. I hope they do something that again just knocks it out of the park. Is just like, what? This is amazing. Good vibes.
Or even if they kept the same theme song and did the same dance, but they just took out everyone who had died in season 1. That might make for an interesting choreography.
With different characters, but it's also meta in the sense that they start like reckoning, like you weren't here, right? Like what's happening here with this? It could be interesting for sure. Okay. One of my bops taken off the list. It's okay. I already got it. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Bill Nye the Science Guy 10-minute club techno remix.
Yes. Okay, so I have one of my bops. I have one of my iconic ones from Cowboy Bebop. I'm gonna go with animation. Well, one of the like animated ones that I think is just like stellar animation. I only have 2 written down in this list, and I can either be really mean and take a certain something that I thought was going to be someone's first pick, but was not, or I can pick something else, which I also really love here.
Go with your heart.
If we are, because they're both so good in their own way, I'm gonna have to go with, I think, the one that is more iconic globally, and that's The Simpsons. The opening credits of The Simpsons. Just incredible. Every time it's something new, they're just stellar. How do they keep coming up with something new to do in that? I don't think I've ever had that many ideas in my life.
You've got the chalkboard gag and the couch gag, and then in the HD seasons, as they fly over Springfield, there's also like billboard gags. Like they just make their job harder and keep acing it.
What if more jokes?
Of course you think about The Simpsons, but I'm like, is talking about The Simpsons like talking about, I love air and water. One of my best friends is my mom, and my favorite food is ice cream.
It's so good. Like, it's hard, like, in terms of animation of whether it's like the quality of the animation or just the fact that, like they do something new every single time. It's hard to top The Simpsons for the achievement that is the opening credits.
And it was one of the first opening credits that's like, you have to like record this and pause it, because they do that big like fast pan across the city where you can stop and pause and catch all these different characters. You can pause and see exactly how much they scan Maggie for at the Quickie Mart.
Exactly. Yeah. Good stuff with that. So.
Excellent. Had to go. Thank you for taking it. Somebody's
I thought that was gonna be like your first pick. I was like, she's gonna pick The Simpsons. I know
I didn't feel like The Simpsons belongs to everyone, to every human being. Like, as much as I love it, I'm like, we all love it. Like, it doesn't feel as specific and personal to me. Because I'm like, that's humanity's TV show is The Simpsons.
We are The Simpsons.
We are. It is eternal. Oh, okay. Now it is my turn again.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I'm going to name another one that I really like. I think either of you are likely to pick it, so let me nab it now while I have the chance. We're staying. I have a whole slew of horror ones. I want to take Severance.
That was on my list
Oh.
for tone pieces too. That one is awesome.
It's so eerie. It's got that like quiet, ponderous piano music. I loved that Severance, the first season of Severance, was set during winter, like real cruddy, like January, February weather where like maybe it's not actively snowing, but if it does snow, the snow never leaves. And
Yep.
like everything is gray and slushy for what seems like forever. And the music feels like
It's claustrophobic.
Yes. The music echoes that feeling. You get the uncanny, almost funny imagery of just like all the tiny little Adam Scotts. And one of them's walking around, pulling around a cluster of the rest of them like it's a helium balloon. And there's like all of them just like mob out of the coffee cup.
Yeah. Yeah, it's eerie, it's weird, it's straight, it's eerie in the sense that it's off-putting. Like there's something just like,
but
wait,
also
what? That's the credits?
Also kind of absurd. And I think that's such a correct tonal match for what Severance is as a show. It's not just creepy. It's creepy in a way that any of these other shows I've named aren't. Yeah, it is like a very, very dark comedy. And I think the opening credits give you both of those vibes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's a good pick.
Oh, man. Now it's time for my final pick.
Ooh.
Here I'm breaking from the chain. I am going with something that also feels mysterious and evocative, but is not horror related at all.
Friends.
I went to the mysterious Friends.
Yeah.
Thinking of 90s kids shows. I thought there's a lot of incredible songs in there. The whole amblimation circle of Animaniacs and Peaky and the Brain and Tiny Toons and Freakazoid. Like I could have done a whole list of just those.
Chimpanzee.
Right. There's so many incredible, like funny, catchy opening songs that you still know years later. This is a show I am picking. The opening credits are set to like a fun, like indie rock song. It's a good song. I listen to it frequently myself, but I'm not picking it for the song. It's for the visual component. I want to take The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Huh. Okay.
Okay.
Picture
Not
these
what
in
I
your
was
mind.
Expecting. Okay.
You're a kid, you turn on Nickelodeon, the opening credits for this show starts and you don't know what it is. It's The Adventures of Pete and Pete. There's two boys both named Pete. What's the deal with that first off the bat? You meet Pete, you meet Pete, you meet Mom, you meet Mom's plate? Why does her mom have a plate in her head? You meet Dad, Ellen. Okay, Ellen seems like a normal girl. Who's Artie? Who's Artie, the strongest man in the world? Who's Petunia? Whose tattoo is that? She's just like a sexy lady tattoo on an arm, wiggling at you. You're like, how does this like 12-year-old boy, the second of two Petes in a family, have a tattoo? This giant sexy lady tattoo, and her name's Petunia, and she gets her name stated in the opening credits. Welcome to Pete and Pete. You have a lot to contend with. Like just the mystery of what is this show's deal? How are these characters?
The absurdity, right? Just
right.
What?
The absurdity of how a seemingly normal list of characters is laid out to you. Like, okay, brother, mom's plate, dad, tattoo, strongest man in the world. Nothing is going to get you more interested, and I gotta see what this is beyond the opening credits to Pete and Pete.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. I thought when you said like kind of sticking with the horror theme, I thought you were gonna go with.
I'm away from it now, but it's just things that are also like, huh? What does that mean?
Yeah. I thought you were gonna go with Hey Arnold, which also would have been good because that like I don't know why, but
Solid
I always
opening.
got a creepy vibe from Hey Arnold.
Yes.
It's all at
There
night.
is-
Right? Yeah.
Something about those
Move
are
it,
just a
football
little
head.
bit unsettling.
Absolutely. So yeah, Hey Arnold is not my next pick. But for my last one, I'm gonna go with one of my hidden gems. One that I think is a show that a lot of people didn't really check out. I'm gonna go with the opening credits to Pachinko on Apple TV.
Oh,
These opening credits
not
are
seen this.
incredible.
these were another one that I kept seeing on lists and I had no context for.
Yeah, it starts with this like older like 60s rock song that starts with like this one guy singing, and it kind of ramps up in what you think is gonna be kind of a slow, like it starts out slower and you think it's just gonna kind of hang with that, especially since the show is more of a straight drama. And the song ends up just ramping up in the most like celebratory way, and it's lively, it's bright, it's catchy, and then all of the actors are in this pachinko parlor just dancing and having a good time, and the imagery is just beautiful and colorful, and they're all just so happy and having a blast, and it's just like, this is awesome, this is incredible. And yeah, it was a do not skip for that entire show.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Man,
And
I'm
the
watching
show
it
was
now.
fantastic.
It's set to Sha Na 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 Live for Today. I
Yep.
forget the band, but it's that song. You've all heard it on the oldies radio.
Yep,
They are living for today. Look at them.
absolutely. And the
This
the
is a
show
lot
kind
more
of takes
upbeat
place
than
in two
than what I thought it was
timelines.
going to be, based on like how somber I thought the show was. I thought it was like a very
Yeah.
tragic historical drama. So I wasn't expecting like pachinko party.
Yeah, like it's kind of
Wow.
both of those things. It's based off of a book. I don't know how true the events are, but it is based on like real things happening in that time, like stuff like that. And yeah, there is a very serious, somber side to that, but it's also kind of a celebration of that heritage, Korean culture, Japanese culture to some extent in there too. Yeah, just surprisingly catchy, and like I loved that show. That was one of my favorite shows that I watched last year. Incredible, cannot recommend it enough. So
Thank you so much for picking that one and forcing me to watch those
Yeah.
opening credits. Those are like, I want to see people doing that at a wedding. Put on that
Yes.
song, do those dances.
yes, absolutely.
You're right. It is celebratory.
Absolutely. So that is, I believe, my fifth pick. So we go to the last one, to Jacq.
Oh my goodness.
Pressure's on to pick all of the
Yes.
options that we forgot. And
Yeah.
Oh gosh. So I know that there are definitely opening credits that may be more impressive. And I watched a lot of opening credits in preparation for this. But I have to go with something that is simultaneously a bop. And although it may not be warm to some people, it is very personally comforting to me, and I have to go with the Goosebumps TV show theme.
Yes.
That's a good choice.
Yes.
Good way to
Reader
end
beware.
wrap it up.
Good.
Man.
Good.
I haven't watched that show in forever, but that was even something I was trying to like rack my brain about. Like, what shows from my childhood do I vaguely remember? Like, do I dare put the "Are You Afraid of the Dark" opening credits
That was on my
there,
list.
or like all that.
That's a
Keenan and
good one.
Kel, right?
Mhm.
All good choices.
Man.
Goosebumps.
So our final lists are, I took The X-Files, Yellow Jackets, Stranger Things, Severance, and Breaking the Horror Streak, The Adventures of Pete and Pete. Kyle, you took Cowboy Bebop, Dark, Bill Nye the Science Guy, The Simpsons, and Pachinko. And Jacq took The Sopranos, Roseanne, the sitcom opening credits from Mr. Robot Season 2, Episode 6, Peacemaker, and Goosebumps.
Incredible.
These are really
lists. They're all
nice aesthetic
so
summaries of
different.
us.
Yeah, they're all so different from one
Yes.
another.
Hit me with your honorable mentions. I've got quite a list of mine.
Do you want to go
Yeah.
first? Yeah.
Kyle, I thought you might have brought up Fringe. The opening credits by themselves are they're cool. They fit the bill, but it's what Fringe does with remixing the same opening credits and using that as an actual narrative tool. Like if we are doing an episode set in the past, the opening credits change. They're the exact same format, but like the words and the typography of them are different.
Depends on the timeline, the universe.
Yes. Yeah, they will change colors. They will change designs. The opening credits like are your totem that you cling to, and they tell you where you are. And no other show really operates like that. Those are really unique. I also thought you might have brought up Mob Psycho 100. But if we're taking only one from anime, Cowboy Bebop is correct. For the old school, like Nick at Night crowd, I wanted to give some respect to the Brady Bunch, a show that has changed how we think about the simple geometric pattern of 9 squares. Like none of these other opening credits have done that. Laverne and Shirley I've always thought is great fun, especially looking back on it now as an adult. I think of Laverne and Shirley and I think of Mary Tyler Moore throwing her hat up in the air as like early models of what it's like to be an unattached adult woman, as I find myself confronting the fact that, okay, I'm not a Carol Brady. I don't have a husband and kids. What am I? I'm a Laverne and Shirley. Like, there's still a place for me. There were many, Nick and Knight gave me many strong women to look up to.
Hell yeah.
Also, from a late night block, Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Ooh,
and
number one in the hood, G.
Nice.
In Jack's vein of taking the sitcom credits from that one episode of Mr. Robot, I wanted to just take Too Many Cooks. One of my favorite films ever. I love Too Many Cooks. I watch it frequently. And going back to the 90s cartoons, I didn't take any cartoons on my list. And I thought hard about if I wanted one, what's the one I want? And I'm like, this one is a sleeper. I think the song is underrated, and I think there's something so quietly odd about the visuals that we don't talk about. And that's Arthur.
Oh my gosh. How could I forget Arthur?
I think the song, like there's other 90s kids cartoon songs that are really funny. Arthur's is just really sincere. Yes, what a wonderful kind of day where you can learn to work and play and get along with each other. Like I go to it as a source of comfort, of wisdom and guidance. And the images, like there's something kind of like duck amuck about them where he's like outside of the form of the opening credits. He's like in and out of them. He slides across a field that's just everybody's head, floating head saying, hey! When they're in the pool and they think it's a shark, but it's just Mr. Ratburn, and he's like, hey. It's like, what is Mr. Ratburn doing here? I like when he tries to take his family's photo and he keeps scooching them all closer together, and they're like, visibly, Arthur, we are tired of this. Don't make us do this anymore.
Just take the dang
when he
photo.
He yells at DW from inside the credits, and she yells, hey, back, and then he falls over. Like, there's something kind of offbeat and quirky about the opening credits to Arthur, in contrast with how cute and wholesome it also is.
Absolutely.
So just had to talk about Arthur.
Yes.
Those are mine.
Thank you.
All right. My runner-ups and honorable mentions, things I didn't get to pick or that we didn't even mention on here. More like there are some great anime opening credits and stuff like that. One of my personal favorites that I didn't actually write down is one of the openings to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I think it's like the second one or something. I didn't do enough to be like, it's that one. But if it's not Cowboy Bebop, then it's Neon Genesis Evangelion. That one, just yeah, like that one is so iconic, so extra, so this is good and wild, and it sets the tone, and it just, man, there's so much happening. But yeah, Neon Genesis Evangelion. Another one that I had on my list of bops was Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. The cartoon is amazing. There is so much music and passion and love just in the entirety of the cartoon. But we got to talk about the pilot episode on the Pilots Club. And yeah, they mix the opening credits into the narrative of the pilot. And it goes in like, yeah, she just is going about her day, and the opening credits sequence is a part of her day, and then it just keeps like flashing back to that one little bit there. Yeah, it's fantastic. Other iconic ones that I didn't, we mentioned Friends, of course. That I'm sure is on lists of best opening credits of all time. I want to shout out
specifically when Friends came back for a new season, and over the break, Courtney Cox had married David Arquette and added a hyphenate Arquette to the end of her name. They did that to everybody's name in like the season premiere credits. So it's her and David Schwimmer Arquette and Matthew Perry Arquette.
That's great.
I still think that's very funny.
I guess also this is technically another anime, but Pokemon.
Oh my gosh!
Iconic.
How could I forget that
be
one too?
The very best, like no one ever was.
Also very high up there.
After that, another just incredibly iconic one, X-Men, the animated series. Fantastic. I also had Batman the Animated Series. That was my other animation one besides The Simpsons. And then Hidden Gems. This first one's not really a hidden gem, but one that I think people would forget in lists like this. And that's Samurai Jack. Samurai Jack.
He's got to get back.
Will I Am on the song with that. And then last but not least, The Great Pretender on Netflix, which is also another anime.
That's an end credits, isn't it?
They do have an opening credits that's fantastic. The end credits is also great, where they do the Great Pretender song.
Yeah.
But the opening credits it's a mix of Cowboy Bebop and Mad Men and this like Paul Rand style design. It's great. It's so cool. And yeah, I when we covered that on the review show, I remember that being like, these opening credits are awesome. This is so good. So those are my runner-ups and honorable mentions.
Very nice.
What about you, Jacq?
For my honorable mentions or runners up, one that I almost chose because I do have a lot of nostalgia for it is the OC. The theme song is California by Phantom Planet, and it does set the tone very well for a lot of episodes, but since there's always a cold open before the opening credits, sometimes they are too cheerful following what is happening in the cold open. So there will be a very grim cold open, then all of a sudden, and then like a very early 2000s, montage of people's images and people surfing and everything. So I'm like, maybe that doesn't set the tone of the show incredibly well all the time, but I do really like those credits. I really like the credits of True Blood.
Yep, that was on a lot of lists that I saw.
Those are good. Even though these credits would change every season, the credits of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend were always very fun and interesting, and they would always somehow fit with however that season was starting. It would kind of be a recap of either what had happened up to that point or
that's cool.
Where the character's current mental state was, which I thought was interesting. Parks and Rec, those opening credits are fun and cute. They set the tone very well. And also a shout out to Hannah Montana and the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Good.
I love when a theme song just explains the plot of the show.
Yes. What if your life was sweet?
Yes.
Good stuff.
Also,
man, there's so many that we missed though that we didn't even mention.
If I didn't only finish the show last night and I truly had more time to sit with it and prove, yes, this is a theme song that has left a lasting impression on me, I would have said True Detective. But
I almost put that as a runner-up.
True Detective season 1 is very, very good. Other ones I can think of off the top of my head, like even the Daredevil show on Netflix has some really, really, really good ones. Man, what else? Law and Order, like the like
True,
right? That's all you need. That's all you need. I thought of even making a theme that was like, these ones are infamously bad, and that's why they're good. Like Lost, the opening logo reveal of Lost is so bad and was not meant to be the opening credits.
I think J.J. Abrams made it himself or something.
Yeah,
I like that it's like really janky and unnerving. I think that fits. I want to shout out the music in the opening credits to Matlock.
There you go. Okay.
Please listen to the music from the opening credits to Matlock, because even though it's about a nice old man lawyer, it sounds like stripper music to me.
Okay, there you go.
Please listen to it in that context and tell me if I'm right. If you can see tassels when you hear Matlock.
Next, fantasy draft. Which opening credits would you strip to?
Songs to strip.
Oh my gosh.
Great. Oh my god. This is good. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad we did this because we came up with this idea like over a year ago, and we were meaning to do it, and it just never happened until now. So good stuff. Good stuff. Well, beyond that, I think that wraps our podcast up for the most part here. Jacq,
that is it.
Thank you once again for joining us. We always love having you on the show.
Thank you both so much for having me again. I love doing these drafts.
Thank you for being our official draft correspondent.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We'll be back next week with who knows what. We'll be up to the who knows. But yeah, that's about it for the Captain Zog number 250. Melissa, where can the people find you on the interwebs?
You can add me on Discord, I guess. Like, Discord feels like the most permanent way to reach me. I'm at WilkyWit on Discord. Watch Too Many Cooks and think of me. Watch Too Many Cooks in my honor. In lieu of flowers, please watch Too Many Cooks.
There you go. And Jacq, where can people find you online?
I would say because social media is so up in the air these days of what will or won't be available in the future, that I would say follow me on Letterboxd, which is where I'm currently residing publicly.
Good.
And I'm Doris_Doomsday.
There you go. Good stuff. Good stuff. You guys can find me at Yo Kyle Springer on most social media places. If you'd like to stay up to date with all the stuff that we do here at the Whatnauts, we are usually just at the Whatnauts. We might be at the Whatnauts official on some of them, but please go like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, we got plenty more videos right over there for you to check out. But yeah, this has been a blast. This has been number 250 of the Captain's Log. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.